Welcome to today's edition of Let's Talk Peace campaign, and we are live in Mbale. My name is Ibra, and I'm going to be the host of the day as we get to cruise around Mbale city. And with me, I have a couple of guests, and we're going to be discussing a couple of things rotating around peace. We're going to be talking about peace, like I said. Let's talk peace. And Uganda's elections has been always characterized with a couple of things, arrests, crashes, and so much more that plus intimidation and so much more that you wouldn't want to be part of the elections. And whenever elections reach, everyone is on tension because they know there is something negative or something bad that might happen to them and things like that. So the main reason we're here today for with this discussion is for us to get to bring out what is happening on the grassroots, and for the people responsible to find better solutions to the problems that are here. Like I said, my name is Ibra, and right here with me I have Lynette, that is representing partners, and I also have the gentleman right here. He's representing boda riders, he's representing taxi operators, and of course the market vendors. And I'm going to start with Lynette. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Ibra. I am honored to be in Mbale city, and it's a lovely city.
Oh, okay. Being a season that we call season for women, it's unfortunate you're going to miss the Karodi. But still, there is a couple of things that you're going to get to see in Mbale. Well, some bit of introduction. What exactly does Lynette do?
Currently, I am on the Let's Talk Peace as a representative of the iPod, but here right now I am representing all. I'm representing all the partners that are on the Let's Talk Peace campaign, which is MCI Media Initiative Challenge, which is the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy, which is the umbrella which we come together, which is the Interreligious Council, and of course iPod. And it's a pleasure to be here to have this conversation with the people of Mbale and the country at large. And I think this conversation is due to be had now as we head to the 2026 election, but also post the 2026 election.
Exactly. Okay, it's a pleasure to also have you on the show. So when we talk about Let's Talk Peace campaign, what exactly do we mean?
The Let's Talk Peace campaign is just an initiative to continue drumming the sound of peace to the Ugandans and the electorate out there, and Uganda as large, because peace is not a choice. Peace is not something, it's not an impulse. It's a choice that you make, a conscious choice to be peaceful, because a peaceful election, it's the heartbeat of this country. Once we do not have a peaceful elections, a lot of things go on standstill. Even to be honest, like things go hayway. And when they go hayway, it affects everyone. For example, if they broke Ginger Highway, we will not have goods that are coming in from Kenya. We will not, and people in Kampala will suffer. But also people that brought their goods in Mbale will suffer because they will not make their sales. So it's simple. What we are trying, the conversation we are trying to have out there is, let us all do our responsibilities to facilitate peace in our country so that we prosper. Because in some elections at this time, there are people that are going to make money. For example, people that are selling t-shirts, people that are selling reflectors, people that are printing. This is their season to make money. If it is not peaceful, you will disrupt their work and they will not make that money. And in January, they will be complaining of Kasana. And we are telling, that is why the Let's Talk Peace campaign is going now. We have left the boardrooms. We have talked to the stakeholders. But now we are leaving the boardrooms to come down to the local person, the person that is initially affected by the violence. And we are having these conversations with them. We are like, let's talk peace. Peace starts with you. As a boda rider, once they ban your boda, your livelihood has been put on a standstill. If they ban that taxi for you, chances are you will start from scratch. You might not even get another taxi to drive. That means the livelihood of your children is affected. Your livelihood is affected. A lot of things are going to go wrong. But when we start this conversation and you know that it begins with you, you are conscious enough to know when people start doing funny things. You say, let me be leaving this place or let me report. When people are spreading funny information, you will be the first one to tell them, but guy, this conversation is not right. Because violence does not start with throwing stones. It starts with small conversations that do not make sense, and then it triggers emotions, and then before you know it, it has started. You are going to be the person that will see people inciting each other, tulumbe, and you're like, tulumbe where? For who? So, you see, when you're conscious about certain things, it becomes easier. You say, but these people, the way they are going, if the police knows early, we can mitigate it. Or if, leave alone the police, if I talk to them. For example, there are people that have voices, and that's why we are talking with you, because we believe you have a voice. You are probably, and you can influence people. Probably you have your social media that people look at. Yes. And when you say, but guys, Okulonda, we can go and vote, but we should not, you do not have to punch me, because at the end of that day, you punch me, election ends, because you are supporting candidate A, I am supporting candidate B. After beating me, January we meet, we are supposed to, probably we are teachers in the same school. We are supposed to sit in the same staff room.
Living in the same community.
Living in the same community. You see the mess you create, and these things are just events that pass. So be cautious in these events. That's why we have the Interreligious Council come on board to tell you that even in religion, I might believe in Allah, pray differently from you, but we are human first. We are Ugandans first. And we should be able to understand that if someone throws a stone on my head, it's painful. So me that is throwing the stone, if the reverse is done to me, I also feel the same pain. Then let's not throw the stones. That is why we have the media challenge to say words are instruments of pain, of conflict, to teach us how do we report, how positively do we use our numbers to make impact. Then we know that not everything is on social media is true. There's a whole system that fact checks information. So this is why we have all partners. Not every rumor you hear about politicians or political parties is actually true. And not everything that politicians tell you is actually true. Yes. So you people beat each other. After beating each other, the winners go and sit in the same parliament. So that's a conversation we want to have with the local people. Okay. We have done it in Gulu, we have done it in Lira. It's continuing to the other parts of the country where we think that these conversations actually matter. Okay. Yes, please.
So cutting it a bit shorter, how does a Ugandan go through this whole process, campaign, elections, without being violent? Or I may not be violent, but of course I may be on the receiving end. So how do we get through all this without getting hurt?
Like I said earlier on,
yes,
it's a choice that we make as a collective. Ibra, who has an audience, me who has, because everyone has an audience.
Yes.
I might not have numbers on social media, but I have a family, I have neighbors.
Yes.
Let it begin with you to make it a point to tell people, go and vote peacefully. If you feel that we might agree to disagree, but not be insulting. I can disagree that Mbale is the most beautiful city, yes, but not abuse Mbale as a city. I said, I don't think it's the most beautiful city, but don't insult each other.
If you abuse it or insult, that means...
Then that becomes a different conversation altogether.
Yes.
Let us be conscious. Like I said, if you are throwing a stone to hit someone, if that someone threw the stone, would you feel okay?
Definitely
what
not.
You do not want to be done to you, don't do to others. It's simple logic. And like I said, you are the business people. You cause the mess, it affects you. You ban the school, your children will not have a school to go to. You block the road, your goods will not what? Will not. So these things, they are interconnected. And it's upon us to make cautious decisions of saying, I might support candidate A or support party B, but I am a son of Mbale first. I am a Munamasaba first before anything else. Emu Masaba or what? Or a Muganda first before anything else. And that I should protect my home. But by protecting my home, not only the house I live in, but its surrounding. Because at the end of the day, if I cause chaos, it does not affect me alone. It affects everybody else. You see, funny thing is, you might be the one causing chaos and you do not know that it will affect your mother, Probably your mother has come from the village to town to come and see, something. Or probably go to the hospital. You are the one that could do me that you banned the road. And now the ambulance that was taking your mother to the hospital cannot go through because the road has fire. That's how they call you and say your mother died on that roadblock, and you will never forgive yourself. You will never. So that the choices we make determine so much the process and the country that we want to live in. So the best thing I can tell anyone out there, ambassadors, elites, we all have a role to play, and the role is preach peace. What you do not want to be done to you, don't do to the others, because if you do, the circle is round, it will come back to you. Okay, thank you so much, Lynette. I think she has really made sure she touches everything, and as a Ugandan, this is the message that you need, because it doesn't make sense for you to be violent and expect peace at the end of the day. If you're violent, then it is going to be violent everywhere. I also have gentlemen here, and I'm going to start with the one in the middle. How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir.
What's your name?
Wabulo Fazal.
Fazal is representing the taxi operators, and well, we've been you've been here for a couple of elections, and you've seen a couple of things happen. When you talk about things, I mean the crashes, the violence, and things like that. Yes. So my question is, how has the past election-related crashes affected your daily lives or the communities?
As in our business that we are operating, that is tax, we basically deal in transportation. Yes. So during the past elections, there was restricted movements to some places. Yes. Due to deployment, heavy deployment by police. Yes. You can't penetrate and go through. Yes. And also sometimes there are riots in some places. Yes. You can't go through. Yes. Another thing is economic setbacks. Economic setbacks being us, the taxi drivers. There's closure of business. As I told you earlier, that due to restricted movements, you can't make a route like to Sirongo when there is a road block. Yes. So there will be missing out. There is no money there. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. I remember there's a time we went to Buda, and as we're coming back, somebody called us, said all routes to town have been blocked. It was a bit hard for us to get to town, so basically it's what he's talking about. I also have a gentleman that is representing boda riders. So what dangers do you face during the tense election periods, and how do you try as much as possible to avoid being pushed into that kind of environment?
Basically, I would say there is no way you can restrict yourself from politics, because this is something that governs the country and we all need it. Exactly. But it all depends on how you involve yourself into it. Yes. And basically, I would say most of the cyclists in Mbale have been used wrongly into politics, whereby they involve themselves to attack opponents. Like, you can use me to attack your fellow opponent into politics, which is wrong. And basically this takes away the peace in the country or in the region. And another thing, economically, it is a setback, because basically if you're working and there is a political rally taking place in a certain area, there will be no work, which is a setback. So I would actually advise a fellow cyclist not to involve themselves in politics if it is time for work.
Okay. Does it, are you trying to say even when during elections they are not supposed to involve themselves?
Oh, as I said, yes, how you involve yourself really matters. Because I would say if I involve myself in a political rally, if it's time for work, yes, it may cause damages to me. I may get caught in the rally thinking, actually the police may think I'm also part of the people causing riots. Okay. You understand? So I would say involve yourself in the right time, not when you're still at work. You understand?
Have you ever found yourself in the middle of let's say, have you ever found yourself in the middle of violence? There's chaos in town. There's the Apple campaigning, something related to that. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of that as you're riding? Yeah. Just give me a picture of how it was and how you got out of it. Did you face any?
Recent, I fell into a political rally of some young boy. I won't mention his name. Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, I had to put a step back. You understand? Wait for them to pass, because basically, if you involve yourself in those crowds, they may damage you or damage your tricycle, boda, in a way that they may not know. You understand? It may be an accident.
Okay.
So I would actually suggest, if you fall into a crowd of politics, you take a step back and wait for them to leave.
To go, and then you can also proceed.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I also have a gentleman right here that is representing vendors. How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir.
What is your name?
I'm Waklet Obad, a market vendor.
Okay. Obad. Okay, so Obad, these during these intense seasons, election seasons, some of the most affected places are the market areas, and sometimes, or in most cases, it sort of affects your business. And in one or the other, either the market is closed or sometimes routing and things like that. What does in 2026 elections, what would you want peace to be like?
As Madame Linet said, we should put that seed of peace. Peace starts with me.
Yes.
So when he says peace starts with me, you yourself, you have encouraged peace. So whatever you talk is peace.
Yes.
Like when we come, when you have peace, you can be protected from harassment and aggression. Yeah. Because you're a market vendor, you have to be selling things to different customers of different ideas, opinions, different political parties, different whatever you know. So for you have to keep peace. When this one comes with his own idea, respect the idea, do business, encourage business. Because when you bring mixing things, at times you may find your client is supporting a different party, you are supporting a different party, you find out that you are not doing what? You are not doing business.
Yes, because you're supporting different individuals, and they'll be like, okay, so I cannot buy from him.
That's why I have to encourage my fellow market vendors on Mbale Central Market and around Mbale. Let's emphasize peace. We'll be talking peace everywhere. Okay. See, when it comes also to peace, when you have peace, peace can also make economy to be stable and grow. Because when peace is there, it's going to allow us vendors to promote our business and make plans without fear. That's how business is going to grow. Okay. Because at times when you have fear, you may end up like closing a market. You are closing your mudara at 4, that those people are going to attack me because I support this and this. So when you have peace, you do everything, you do all plans in your time.
Okay.
Another thing, like we market vendors, peace can also help us, like improving infrastructure. Like through peace, I can talk to the authorities in a peaceful way. Like when you have poor sanitation, we can address it in a peaceful way. As we have said, peace starts with me. So when I bring peace, when I'm talking peace to somebody, he has also to respond in a peaceful way.
Okay, so I want to get back to Dixon. Most times where there is violence, you find boda riders. What message do you have to the boda riders, and how can they keep peace, or can they promote peace during and after elections?
Basically, I would actually first say, where there is violence, it's well stated that there always boda riders.
Yes.
I know you know that very well. So I would actually advise them to first identify spots where there is violence, never to step there. And another thing I would advise them is always to move with their documents. You understand? Because police has a bad image about boda riders and cyclists. Basically, if they find riots, the first suspects will be boda riders. So I would actually advise them not.
And how have you have you managed to survive police?
Basically, I survive because I do deliveries, and you know the deliveries I do, upcoming things. I do deliveries only. So basically, I've always put myself as an executive in that. I love myself. So I try my level best to do away from that, to do away from the violence. So I would actually advise, like my fellow cyclists, in the same way, not to involve themselves in any riot.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's upon them and their lives. So I would actually advise them to protect themselves and do away from any place with a riot, and know every hotspot that there are riots. Yeah.
Linet, you've already heard from the gentlemen, and they are from Mbale. So now, I know you sort of touched literally everything during the introduction, and I want us to be a bit specific. What practical steps can Ugandans take before, during, and after elections to promote peace and protect our democracy?
Like I said earlier on, that the conversations start with us.
Yes.
And now, with the Let's Talk Peace campaign, what we have done is bring this conversation to the local people, engage the young people.
Yes.
That's why on the caravan, you see the messages through music, which is a language that young people understand very much. It's dancing, things that young people understand. So that you know, you can only dance when it is peaceful. You cannot dance when there are sparks of fire.
Exactly.
So we are telling you that this involves you. It's part of you. And also, even after elections, if you've created enmity, like he said, you are in a market, the next stall, you already abused the person that sells on the next stall. Your customers, some customers are running away from you because of how you are opinionated.
The customer will come putting on a t-shirt for a specific candidate,
and
because you don't
being
support.
Funny.
Yes.
So you're losing business. It's you losing out, and that's after the elections. Like I said, the politicians that are making you fight, when they go to the August House, they sit in the same room. Opposition, there is no parliament that sits outside. That these ones are opposition for them. They sit alone there. They sit together. So if they can sit together at that level, why don't you work together on this level? Because at the end of that day, it's you. It's about you. So after elections or in elections, you can agree to disagree. You support A, I support B. It's okay. That is what you believe in. And it's okay. That's what you believe in. That's what I believe in. Just like the world is created with different things. Just like you're male, I'm female. And it's okay. We coexist. Because at the end of the day, you're going to need each other. Imagine the candidate you are abusing. You've been on social media abusing their family, everything. And then they happen to be the candidate that goes through.
Yes.
Sometimes they are not even biased. Sometimes they are not even against you as an individual.
Yes.
But you as a person, you now become shy of saying things that would have helped the community. You know, sometimes you cause so much pain to people that they do not get away from that. People are depressed, people are sick, people are angry. And then, at the end of the day, you want something, but you cannot talk to anyone.
Yes.
Because you know, you start saying, if I go there, you've already burnt every bridge. If I go there, how will I say this? And you see, even to the politicians, we are doing the humble appeal. We are having conversations. We are having dialogues at all different levels. That is why we have Media Challenge, to teach people how to fact check, to teach people how to communicate, how to tell stories that do not affect each other. That's why we have interreligion, because we know that churches are the soothers of souls, of broken hearts, to talk to people. But we are even having trainings with candidates, with police. Today you're going to see police come to talk to people in Mbale town. We are going to have the army come to have discussions with people, because they are part of us. We cannot stay away from them. So let their role be clear. But also, don't you provoke police. You're throwing stones at police because they have a gun.
They have guns.
And you see, the funny thing is, they have a gun, but you're throwing stones. So when they start reacting with a gun, you say, police shot at us. Were you giving them food? So before you react these things, and to the politicians, at the end of the day, you are going to be voted to help the people of your constituency. And the people of your constituency include people that do not support you, do not believe in your ideology, but they are all people that you represent.
Some of the politicians that we have are the ones that incite violence. On a couple of occasions, I've seen politicians tell their supporters, let's go, let's attack them. I don't want to be specific in any way. I don't want to mention names here, but I've seen it happen a couple of times. What message do you have to the fans, first of all, because it is they are listening to their politicians, and then what message do you have to those politicians who tell the fans, let's attack, let's go, let's do this?
I want to borrow the words of him. He said that, you see, don't associate yourself with trouble.
Yes.
I want to send a message to the people out there. If the person is telling you, go and fight these people, you as yourself, how does that benefit you? When you beat another human being, how does that benefit you? Let us also be conscious on the people that we vote. Chances are these people do not have the right message for us. That is why they are inciting us to create violence, so that they maneuver through. Your candidate, the competition should be of opinions or manifestos of what you're going to do to improve the livelihood of the people of Mbale or your different constituency. Once the conversation leaves that one and it is on fighting, Manya attack Ibra, Manya what? Be conscious enough and ask yourself, if Ibra's mother found me beating his son, what would be her reaction? Because then it ceases to be a conversation of I am just a supporter. You have attacked my son, you've attacked my husband. You wait for my reaction, and my reaction might not be. It becomes personal, and my reaction might not be good. So to avoid all of these things, be conscious enough. Also love yourself, because why would you put yourself in harm's way? Why would you want to be in prison? Because at the end of the day, like I said, when you die alone. When they imprison you alone. I want to also put this across. There are things that we need to diffuse as people.
Lastly, fast forward, if Uganda has peaceful elections in 2026, what do you think will be the positives that will come out of because of the peaceful elections?
It's obvious, continuity. I always use an example of Kenya.
Yes.
I tell people, do you know what happens in Kenya? The late Baba, may God continue to keep his soul in peace, he would disagree with Uhuru and disagree with the elections. But after elections, Kenya comes first. They sit together and say, okay, now that elections are done, Baba, I know you have maybe bargaining skills. You can bargain well. If we send you to African Union, I will recommend you to go. You can become a prime minister. And when you go to Kenya, the impact of such conversations is seen in Kenya. You see how Kenya has devolved. I am telling Ugandans, this is our country. This is the only home we have. We should strive to make it a better place for each and every one of us. So when we have these conversations after elections, we should be able to dialogue the winners and the losers. This should be the analogy that we take into elections. There are going to be losers and winners. Not everyone is going to parliament. The losers accept and work with the what? The winners to make this country a better place for all of us.
Maybe next time it will be you.
Maybe next time it would be you.
Okay.
Maybe by corroborating with this person, people will say, hey, these were Ibra's ideas. But since he started working with Pfizer, the thing has changed. The Mbale is now more clean. We have more investors, which has brought more jobs. We have less people on the streets. Maybe next time we should elect Ibra, And also it becomes easier for you to know, because sometimes policies, elections, there are a lot of things that interplay. Let's not vote on our emotions, but vote for the country. Let's do some of these things in the love of our country. How does our country become better? Because a better country is a lively country, is a progressive country. Business is booming, things become better, and your life becomes better in advance. The healthy system is working, so whatever choices we make, this is our home. We should strive to protect it. Let us put the love of ourselves as Ugandans before anything else, and the love of our home.
Thank you so much, Lynette. As we get to wind up, I want to get the last remarks from the gentleman behind here. In a few seconds, what is your last remarks to the people that have been watching the podcast?
This is a small session that we are just going through, and it will either ruin your life or protect your life.
Yes.
So let's all be at peace. These people who need us only when they're in politics, but once you lose your life, they'll forget about you. So probably love yourself, know where to move from, know where to ride from, and protect your life. That's what I can.
Thank you so much. To the gentleman in the middle, what is your last remarks to the people that have been watching?
I will borrow some words from my sister Lynette, what she said. She said peace does not only favor you as a person, but also the people behind you.
Okay.
So if you come out, keep the peace, avoid the riots, avoid the chaos, that will be very good. It will help you and your people. And tomorrow you will be live after politics. Your life will move on very well.
Okay. Thank you so much. And lastly,
Yeah. My remark is, I would like to appeal all Ugandans, because it's going to be a general election for our country. We have to take the word peace.
good message. And lastly, Lynette.
Tell everyone to tell everyone that peace starts with us, and it's a choice, not a passive one at that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers. My name is Ibra again, and I'm a very big coward. First of all, I fear being hurt. So if I fear being hurt, then I don't have a reason to hurt someone else. And I also fear being arrested. So if I fear being arrested, then definitely there's no reason for me to involve in violence. And I want to encourage each and everyone that has been watching today, please and please, like they said, peace starts with you and me.
256. Let's talk peace.